And my strong advice to you is stay put where you are. We are in touch with you. You have problems, get back, discuss within yourself, use your hub. And further, if there are issues, please come to us and we will help you out.
Thank you, Ambassador. That was very, very useful to know. I completely agree with your advice that students should stay put and stay where they are because that's the safest thing to do. Some students have raised some queries. For instance, Aditya and Shushrut, both from Wisconsin-Madison, have asked about their F1 OPT and J1 visa statuses, which are contingent on whether they can stay in the country and the legality of their status. They've asked if there's any way that the Embassy of India can perhaps sort of try to intercede or urge the US government to either automatically extend these visas or the unemployment days during the COVID-19 crisis. So what can we tell students?
I perfectly understand this problem. This has been coming to us also. But I want to draw your attention at this time, the first and foremost focus of all the governments, including the United States government, is to ensure the well-being and health of all. So the focus is right now not on the visa. But I also want to mention to you that this issue has been raised by us with the US government. We have raised it at our External Affairs Minister level when we spoke to the Secretary of State, the Foreign Secretary with the Deputy Secretary. I've been raising it with the State Department. We are writing to them also. But we also need to be understandable with them that right now their focus is not on the visa. I am sure this issue will be tackled with this full understanding that there is a particular emergency situation which arose and that will be taken into account. So I would urge the students that they should connect up with their university authorities. There are full-fledged advisories which have been put up. Connect up with many of you, connect up with us. Once you have put in your request, and in each university there are officials who deal with it. Please talk to them. Bring to their attention that this is the issue, because it should also go from them to the State Department. But we are also formally taking it out. And as the situation stabilizes, I'm sure this will also be tackled.
Thank you, sir. We've touched briefly on travel, and I would like to come back to it later because it's such a growing point. But since we're talking about social distancing, and you've mentioned it a couple of times, this is, as you mentioned correctly, the advice that is strongly being given through several outlets, including the embassy and the CDC and everyone. A few students have noted that the city and shelter-in-place guidelines have impacted them financially in certain ways. So you did touch on this briefly when we talked about students should reach out to the embassy, but if you could elaborate a bit, I think that could be beneficial to many.
Again, let us be very open and frank with each other. All the students have come here to study. And they came here out of their choice. We are still not have reached the end of the semester. There will be difficulties, there will be challenges. I don't deny that. But please remember that we are in an emergency health situation. And therefore, some problems each one of us will face. But as I said, that such adversities provide opportunities and provide solutions. So we certainly need to think outside the box. I am not in a position to tell you that I will financially bankroll you. Nobody can say that today. But be very realistic about what challenges you are facing currently. Don't look what you will face 2 months later. Because at this time, the focus is to stay well.
Don't do this.
As they say, as my Prime Minister said, Jaan hai to jahan hai. We will get an opportunity, you will get an opportunity to sort this out. So, at this time, if you are really under a crunch, that's what team spirit is about. Come together. You are facing a situation, then you write to us. But do not, the opportunity is not to solve all the problems which will come after 2 or 3 months. The opportunity is to ensure that you stay well, and in the next 2 or 3 weeks, like you have passed through now, you will pass through it. And we are very much standing with you. Get to us, we will advise you through, and we will try and assist you wherever we can. But as I said, I want to be very frank with you. You are here as students. You came with a particular situation. The situation has emerged. We are all facing it. It's still very early. Let us not start looking at the doomsday scenario. And I also want to use this opportunity to bring one particular aspect to all y'all. You are in United States of America. This place has the strength in medicine, diagnostics, research, and equipment. Do not underestimate where you are. You will perhaps get the best medical assistance here. Therefore, there is nothing to panic. Stick on.
Thank you, sir. Those are very powerful words. Thanks for sharing that. You raised something very interesting about how adversity provides us with opportunities. And when I was at school, one of the things that was very, that I had a very strong sentiment about was how my peers would engage with and volunteer to support the community. A number of students have come forward, both to our peer support line and through other avenues, saying that, for instance, Mansi from Rochester and Mohammed from U, Maryland, they've come forward saying that they would like to do community service and help out during these troubling times. Is there anything you could suggest on how they can go about helping their community?
I was going to touch upon this, and I'm very happy that you brought it up. First and foremost, ensure that you take all the precaution. What all has been said, including masks, when you go into this service. Having done that, this is the time where the community where you are living, around the places you are living, you give a helping hand, it will remain in the memory. You are establishing a base for yourself, for your peers, and for other Indians. So in whichever way you can help, in terms of whether in community meals or helping out in community service, even maybe some of you who know how to drive, helping out in driving people, I would say get in touch with the nearest community people and they will be able to guide you. You could also get in touch with some of our officials where you are based. We will check it out and we will connect you with some of the people who are involved in community service. But this is a very, very important thing which I told you, that this is also an opportunity where you can show your true character. And I'm sure that application will help you not only mature yourself as a human being, but also with the people and the surroundings which you are. And wherever you are helping out, do message to us, because we want to take pride in that, and I would certainly like to share it with other people.
Thank you for sharing that, sir. trying to circle back a little bit and come to the travel question, there was a little piece that was also seen that was a very big trend. Several students did request an update on their OCI cards and whether in the future, even though these are unpredictable times, whether they could be valid for travel to India. So we just wondered if there had been any updates on that front.
See, right now the OCI remains suspended. It got suspended on 11th, and as I mentioned to you that travel was permitted till 22nd. The embassy and the consulate, we gave emergency visas to many OCI holders who needed to travel. I don't want to go into specific cases, but there were cases where the parents were in India, the children were here. There were a lot of emergency cases where some deaths took place. And look, in the current situation, since we are just mentioning, there have been some very sad cases who are not able to travel. Some people who have lost their parents, but they are not able to travel. They are not able to travel because of their own welfare and also the welfare of whom they are going to visit. So it's not that there is heartlessness in the system, but because there is responsibility to see that everybody, including all of you, stay well. So once we have got over the situation, I'm sure the OCI will be restored. Once the travel has started, we will be there to do it. So there is nothing to worry on that.
That's good to know. Thank you, sir. As the stream has been progressing, we've been receiving certain questions, and some students have mentioned, as you said, these are challenging times, and they